Assalamu alaikum, I'm Aisha and you're watching Samaa News. Here are today's headlines.
Iran has announced that the Doha talks have concluded, with Tehran raising alleged US violations of the Memorandum of Understanding. Deputy Foreign Minister Kazem Garibabadi said that the Iranian delegation met with the Qatari Prime Minister and had 2 meetings with Qatari and Pakistani delegations, and that no direct meeting took place with the US officials in Doha. He also stressed that all commitments under the agreement are interconnected and cannot be implemented selectively. Separately, Iran's top negotiator Mohammad Bakr Kalibaf said that his country would not enter further negotiations with the United States until the Memorandum of Understanding is implemented. He also made it clear that Iran would never compromise on its rights in the Strait of Hormuz. Meanwhile, Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian has defended negotiations with the United States, saying the talks would never have happened if Supreme Leader Ayatollah Mujtaba Khamenei had opposed them. His remarks come amid growing debate over the US-Iran Memorandum of Understanding. President Donald Trump has said that the United States is getting along very well with Iran after technical talks in Doha. Talking to reporters before boarding the upgraded Boeing 747 that was gifted by Qatar and will serve as the new Air Force One, he said negotiations on de-nuclearisation and shipping through the Strait of Hormuz were progressing. He also claimed that the recent meetings between US and Iranian officials went very well and that Iran has come a long way.
The United States and Iran have reached a preliminary agreement during indirect talks in Doha for the release of $3 billion to Iran. According to Al Arabiya, the discussions were continuing over the Strait of Hormuz under a new plan put forward by Oman. Sources said that negotiating delegations would return to their countries for consultations. Earlier on Wednesday, indirect negotiations between US and Iranian delegations began in Doha to narrow differences and advance talks between the two sides. US envoys Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner have met Qatar's Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdulrahman bin Jassim Al Thani as efforts continued for indirect technical talks between the United States and Iran after the MoU. The envoys are in Doha for discussions linked to the ongoing US-Iran process. According to Qatar's Foreign Ministry, the meeting reviewed the latest progress in talks between Washington and Tehran within the framework of the Memorandum of Understanding signed between the two sides. The meeting also focused on the regional situation and efforts to promote security and stability through dialogue and diplomacy. US Vice President Vance has said President Donald Trump has instructed officials to continue talks with Iran, but warned that Washington still has several options if diplomacy fails to produce a successful outcome. In an interview on Tuesday, Vance said technical talks with Iran are continuing and are based on earlier negotiations between the two sides. He said there is still uncertainty over Tehran's next steps and that no one can say with certainty what Iran will decide. He added that Washington has seen both positive and negative signs.
The United States plans to deploy troops to monitor both the Lebanese and Israeli militaries under a new US-brokered framework agreement. According to the US media, any violations will be reported to the Trump administration as Washington seeks to enforce the fragile ceasefire.
US President Donald Trump has reported more than $1.4 billion in income from his family's crypto ventures last year, showing how Trump now derives most of his income from digital assets that have benefited from his policies. According to a review of his latest financial disclosures, the filings, his annual disclosure for 2025 with the US Office of Government Ethics, disclosed that his companies received almost $800 million from World Liberty Financial, a crypto venture he and his sons co-founded. Trump reported another $635 million from the sale of his Trump meme coins. Pakistan's security forces have shot down 4 drones launched by the Afghan Taliban regime across the border in Balochistan. According to the military's media wing, the drones were allegedly sent under the patronage and support of terrorist outfits operating from territories controlled by the Afghan Taliban regime. ISPR said the hostile aerial platforms were immediately detected by Pakistan's robust air defense network. It added that the security forces, demonstrating high operational readiness, successfully successfully neutralised all 4 incoming drones through sophisticated countermeasures.
Hundreds of mourners took part in funeral prayers for the 14 children who died a day earlier in Lahore after the roof of a tutoring centre collapsed. Police have registered a case against the owners and a contractor who constructed the house where the tuition centre was set up. Authorities say the centre was unregistered and operating inside a residential building with a dilapidated roof.
That's all for now. For more updates, visit www.samaa.tv. Thank you for watching Samaa News.